Right, everyone. So we'll start. අද පොඩ්ඩක් කලින් දැම්මා මම 7යි කාල මේ 7ට දැම්මේ. මම හිතන්නේ ඒක ගන්න තාම කට්ටිය join වෙනවා. Right. So anyway, we'll start. Your lesson number 2 in our grade 12 syllabus. Business, social responsibilities and ethics. දැන් අපි lesson number 2 කියලා කිව්වට නේද lessons හැමදාම cover වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. Not that we have just covered 2 lessons, right? Correct. Guys, now we're talking about this one, right? This is one of a easy lesson in your syllabus, I would say. But the questions, right? Anyway, the weightage in terms of 5%, 6% weightage is there when you come to this lesson. Correct. So the business, social responsibilities and ethics. And normally BSR. BSR. Right. Now, guys, we have studied about the stakeholders in our lesson number 1, right? Our lesson number 1, stakeholders like so that is something where the people, right? The interested parties. Okay. Now, first, shall we have a look at on what do you mean by those business social responsibilities, right? ව්‍යාපාරික සමාජ වගකීම්, right? So now we say the fact that when you operate a business, දැන් ඔයාලට සමහර ඉස්සරහට business එකක් තියෙන්න පුළුවන්. So when you operate a business, it says that you need to conduct your business operations. එහෙම නැත්නම් business activities, right? Business activities. You know that what are the business activities? It could be production of goods and services, selling and distribution. So whatever the things. So when you conduct your business operations, when you conduct your business activities to act the best interest of all the stakeholders. So you have to operate your business in an unbiased way. Unbiased. Unbiased keyword කාටවත් අපි කිව්වොත් එක පැත්තකට යන්නේ නැතුනේ unbiased, right? පක්ෂපාතී වෙන්නේ නැතුව, right? So when you conduct your business activities in an unbiased way which fulfill all the expectation of all the stakeholders, right? Stakeholders, right? Now you know what are the stakeholders, right? When it comes to business, could be internal and external, right? Now some of the things could be owner, shareholder, employees, right? Manager, society, customers, suppliers. So those are the stakeholders. Now we need to identify why this concept came. I mean social responsibility. So let me explain. There's something called 2023 students make a dhannawa. That is something we discussed in the first lesson. Shareholder theory versus stakeholder theory. Let me explain to you, right? Shareholder theory versus shareholder versus stakeholders. මෙන්න මෙතනින් තමයි මේ concept එක පටන් ගත්තේ. Shareholder theory. Now, we do just shareholder, right? Shareholder versus stakeholder. Right. Now you know that in the stakeholder, something else our business shareholder කෙනෙක්, right? දැන් එනම් මතක තියාගන්න මොකක්ද business social responsibility කියන්නේ when you conduct your business activities, you'll be conducting the business operations in an unbiased way, right? To fulfill all the expectation of the stakeholders. So let's say we have ABC company, right? Or the ABC business. So here you have the owners, right? Or maybe the owners. Owners ලාටම අපි කියන්න පුළුවන් shareholders ලා කියලා, right? Shareholder. අනිත් පැත්තේ employees, right? And we have customers. Customers like පුළුවන් ඊට පස්සේ society එක, competitors, right? And suppliers, right? So what are the parties? So when you conduct a business, yes, to act in an unbiased way to all the stakeholders, right? Before this era, then up in a stage, kaliන් තිබ්බ වෙන්න මේ shareholder theory එකක් නැත්නම් shareholder තමයි base කරේ. Now we know for a fact that out of those stakeholders, one of our main stakeholder is the owners of the shareholder. That we have to agree. මේ තියෙන stakeholders ලා ඔක්කොගෙම shareholder කියන්නේ the main or the key stakeholder. මොකද shareholder නැත්නම් සමහරට employees ලා නැහැ. Right? Because those are the parties who invest in the business founders ලා වෙන්න පුළුවන්, right? Who have the ownership. Because of that, suppliers get the orders. Because of that, customers can place the orders, right? So we have to agree the fact that out of the stakeholders, shareholder is one of a key stakeholder. කියන්නේ ඉන්න තියෙන stakeholder අතරේ ප්‍රධාන කෙනෙක් තමයි මෙන්න මේ shareholder. එහෙනම් මේ prior to business social responsibilities, business were focusing on the best interest of the shareholder only. shareholder ගැන විතරයි හිතුවේ හැමතිස්සෙම. employees ලාට මොනවා වුණත් කමක් නැහැ. customers ලාට මොනවා වුණත් කමක් නැහැ. නේද? environment එකට society එකට මොනවා වුණත් කමක් නැහැ. එහෙනම් මොනවාද objective එක? shareholder value. නේද? maximization of the shareholder value. නැත්නම් shareholder net value එක, right? shareholder value. So how do we calculate? Maximizing the wealth of the shareholders, right? Wealth of the shareholders. Wealth කිව්වොතින් දාන්නේ නේද? හරි. එහෙනම් කොහොමද මේක shares issue කරලා තියෙන company එකක් නම් සරලව කියන්න පුළුවන් market price of a share, right? Market price of a share into number of shares. Correct? So this is how the shareholder wealth taken. You might invest in a business, for example, 100 rupees per share, but due to the profit, due to the more efficiency and the great performance of the company, maybe the share price has grown up, for example, 150. So your net assets නැත්නම් වාගේ මෙන්න මේ කියන wealth එකක් increase වෙලා තියෙනවා, right? Correct. එහෙනම් businesses were focusing only the best interest of the shareholders only, focusing on how to maximize the wealth of the shareholders, how to give the best dividends, right? Higher profit. So they totally ignore the rest of the parties. හැබැයි මෙන්න මේ විදිහට මේගොල්ලෝ business එක කරගෙන යද්දි මේගොල්ලන්ට තේරුණා shareholder ගැන විතරක්ම focus කරගෙන ඉඳලා හරියක් නැහැයි කියන එක. They realize the fact that they need to focus on, as a business, they need to focus on the society, competitors, suppliers, customers, and the employees, not just the shareholders, නැත්නම් owners, right? හරි නම් මොනවද උනේ ඉස්සර? Now in order to increase the profit, දැන් කොහොම නමුත් market price එක වැඩි වෙන්න හරි shareholder එක objective එක තමයි profit, right? More profits, right? More profit නැත්නම් return එක වැඩි කරන එක, right? More profits. එහෙනම් employees ලාට දෙන facilities අඩු කරනවා. ඒගොල්ලන්ට තියෙන salary level එක වෙන්න පුළුවන්, product quality එක මේ ඔක්කොම අඩු කරලා පුළුවන් තරම් මෙන්න මේ profits වැඩි කරනවා. Now for example, giving a salary increment, right? So increase the cost, wages, salaries. When there's increase of the cost, profit decreases. එහෙනම් හැමතිස්සෙම බැලුවේ මොනවාද? shareholder නැත්නම් owner වැඩිම profit එකක් දෙන්නේ කොහොමද? අනිත් අය totally ignored, right? හරි. එහෙනම් මෙන්න මේ ක්‍රමයෙන් දිගටම කරගෙන යන්න බැරි වුණා. මේක හරියන දෙයක් නෙමෙයි කියලා they realize. So that is why the business social responsibility concept came, where yes, we have to accept the fact that we have to think about the shareholders' interest, but we cannot totally ignore the interest of the rest of the stakeholders as well, because they are also important as it is, right, as the stakeholders. Employees leave the company day by day. Customers are leaving, right? Society has a bad image about the company, so then it's not going to work, right? So that's the concept of the shareholder versus stakeholder theory. එහෙනම් මොනවාද මේ business social responsibility එකත් එක්ක ආවේ. එහෙනම් මේ හැම පාර්ටි එකක් ගැනම, right, operate in an unbiased way to fulfill the interest. එහෙනම් අනිත් පැත්තේ employees also giving fair salary, right, job protection, job security, everything, not just the profit of the shareholders. So that is something that I can say about these two concepts, right? So then we have to talk about some accepted definitions. දැන් මම අර වාඩි කිව්වා ආගේ syllabus එකේ තියෙන දෙයක්, right? Work as an unbiased way to all your stakeholders. So likewise, there are a couple of individuals, an organization, and some of the countries have come up with this definition for business social responsibilities. මේ ඔක්කොගෙම කියන්නේ same meaning එක. For example, the Alan Baker, ඊට පස්සේ Narayan Murthy, මේගොල්ලෝ ගත්තොත් අපිට කියන්න පුළුවන් individuals la, right, who came up with these concepts. ඊට පස්සේ Philippines, USA වගේ, this is as per your syllabus, some of the countries, right? එක රටවල් දීලා තියෙන definition එක. Now something like the World Business Council for Sustainable Development. අපි කිව්වොත් තිරසර සංවර්ධන කියලා අහලා තියෙනවා නේද? තිරසර සංවර්ධනයේ තියෙන මේ UN organization එකක්. So that is some of the international organization. So likewise, you have like 5 definitions. All definitions පහක් දීලා තියෙනවා. 2 from individuals, right? Megalo politicians la, writers la, authors la, right? In this field, and also 2 countries, and also one of an international organization, right? So then coming to the necessity of fulfilling the business social responsibilities. ඇයි අපි දැන් මේක fulfill කරන්නේ? දැන් අපි කාලයක් මේක fulfill කරේ නැහැ. පිට අවුරුදු අපිත් මතකයි සමහරට ඔය industrial revolution එකේ මුල් දවස්වල. Sometimes the employees treated as slaves, as machines. ඒතර ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ very poor living conditions නේද? ඊට පස්සේ they did not think about at all then. ඊට පස්සේ තමයි මේ labor rights, labor unions ඇති වෙලා මෙන්න මේ විදිහට change එකක් වුණේ. So then the business realized that we cannot survive. We have to focus on the other stakeholders interest as well. මේකට ගොඩාක් මේක දැන් අද කාලේ වගේ බැලුවොත් especially the development of the technology, social media. දැන් අද මොන හරි මේ වගේ දෙයක් කරලා නිකන් ඉන්න බෑ. මොන හරි වීඩියෝ වෙලා තියෙයි මේක share වෙනවද හැමෝම දැනගන්න. So not good for the company. So likewise, there are a couple of reasons why the necessity of the business social responsibilities. Something like the concept of globalization, or maybe let's say some of the Western countries following those. So then the rest of the world cannot, stay without following those. Maybe they are expanding their businesses to rest of the world. So then they also need to follow those. So something like that. One of the reasons is the globalization. It was something like for the reputation of the company's point of view, due to the increased competition. And one of a marketing tool. So we are one of the company who treat the employees well, who think about the society, right? So something giving back to the society. So think about the environment, right? Sustainable development, something like that. So they can market themselves saying, they follow those concepts. Likewise. And the main part is that the business should fulfill, yes, to the customers, to the employees, owners, right? In the society, there are like mainly 4 parties you need to fulfill the social responsibilities. Will be discussed one by one, right? So then there's a problem. Conflict of interest. The problem is, can we fulfill the business social responsibilities to all the parties? Sometimes maybe there's arguments that are conflicts of interest. Now, for example, owners or the shareholders might reluctant to give more benefits to the employees. So then surely it reduces the profits. So it reduces the net assets of their owners. It's a conflict in a plan. Maybe a manager want to publish the set of accounts with a greater profit, where he always think to reduce the cost. Right? I thought the manager not agree to give an increment. So something like that, conflicts could arise. Or maybe the society giving a great pressure to the business operations. So whatever the things that they do, right? The then business sector, they have to listen to them. Or maybe some sort of union actions, employees, whatever the these action against the company, right? So there's always conflict of interest for this. So we'll be talking those things. And the benefits of fulfilling the business social response is something like the good reputation for the company, the increased competition. So things like we will discuss one by one. So I have shared the soft copy and I received the hard copy as well. So what I want you to do is number 2, business responsibilities and ethics, and these are our daily. Went through the introduction of the list. Right? Can we have this accepted necessity? So parties fulfill the business social responsibility, conflicts, and now this shareholder versus this is just a short note for you, content, and then that you have. Right, guys. So this is what I was explaining to you. Shareholder versus stakeholder theory. Correct. Right. Now I'm sharing the content from the lesson number 1 as well. So then you can get a better idea about that. I'll be sharing this to you as well. Right here. Everyone, now listen well. Shareholder versus stakeholder. A stakeholder doesn't have to be a shareholder. A shareholder is, however, a primary stakeholder who has invested in capital. Right? Now, we done that. Shareholder කියලා කියන්නේ මේ key stakeholder කෙනෙක්. හැබැයි හැමතිස්සෙම හැම stakeholder කෙනෙක්ම shareholder කෙනෙක් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. So that's something you need to understand. Example එකක් විදියට employee කියලා කියන්නේ stakeholder කෙනෙක්. හැබැයි එයා shareholder කෙනෙක් නෙමෙයි. එයාට ownership එකක් නැහැ business එකට. එයාට shares නැහැ business එකේ. Customers stakeholder but not a shareholder. Right? He or she does not have any ownership to the business. Suppliers also the same, right? Society. සමහරට අපි business එකක් කරන දේවල් appreciate කරන සමහරට අනිත් පැත්තෙන් criticize කරන්නත් පුළුවන්. හැබැයි අපි appreciate කරන්නේ මොනවා business එකට අපිට ownership එකක් තියාගෙන නෙමෙයි. Because of they are doing something good to the society. Something like that. එහෙනම් මේ ඔක්කොම වාගේ තියෙන stakeholders ලා. එහෙනම් stakeholder කෙනෙක් වුණා කියලා වට ownership එකක් නැහැ business එකට. එහෙනම් shareholder තමයි so one of a stakeholder with the ownership. So that's something that you need to focus on, right? So the content from lesson number 1, I'm just reversing with you. The stakeholders of a business represent the individuals who have a vested interest. Ownership එකක් තියෙන්න ඕනෙම නැහැ interest වෙන්න. As an employee, I have interest about the business organization that I work for, but I don't have any ownership. As a citizen, I'm interested about activities of the business, the activities of a factory in our area as a citizen. So I don't have any ownership. But I have a vested interest, correct? And also they can influence of the business decisions. One of a good thing. Shareholders are always stakeholders. Shareholder කෙනෙක් කියන්නේ අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම stakeholder කෙනෙක්. But not all the stakeholders are shareholders. බලන්න. Shareholders are always stakeholders, but stakeholders are not always shareholders. Can we just get this one, only this part, right? So let me highlight again. Because you need to identify why we talk about those business social responsibilities. So having the knowledge about this shareholder versus stakeholder theory, that is the foundation of this lesson. Why we practice business social responsibilities is that we need to focus on all the stakeholders. Right, I'll be sharing this to you as well because the 2020 students, I have not done this lesson with you, but I'll be sharing this to you as well. Right. Hi, should companies only strive to maximize the shareholder value or try to serve the interest of the stakeholders? The answer should be they need to focus on all the interests of the stakeholders, not just the shareholders. Right. Hi. එකත් එක්ක ඔයාගේ tube එකේ මම දාලා තියෙනවා differences, something like for the shareholder theory they focus on the profit, expansion of the business, so something like that. Correct. So we can refer to that part as well. So try to get the idea of this, what's the difference between the shareholder versus stakeholder theory. Right. So this is one of the key points. මම හිතන්නේ මේක එකපාරක් exam එකකට අහලා තිබ්බා මේක quote එකක් මේක දීලා explain this statement, right, as a statement. So you need to have that sound knowledge to explain this concept, right? Correct. With that, guys, coming back to the our lesson part, you can see shareholder, right? So you can see employed managers run the business, run the company, all in the best interest of the shareholders. In a business managers appoint. So managers work on behalf of the shareholders. In a shareholders like a vitarak act on right? So individuals who have the ownership, individuals that are indirectly affected by the decisions made by the business. Like a part of business decision business relocate කරන්න වෙන country එකකට ගිහිල්ලා. Let's say one of apparel factory decided to relocate the business to go and relocate to India or Bangladesh because of the cheap labor cost. So maybe that's one of interest to the shareholder. Shareholder එක හොඳ වෙයි. Owners ලට the cost එක අඩු වෙනවා, labor cost, salaries and wages අඩු වෙනවා. Right? So decrease cost, increase profit. Good for the shareholders. But what about those employees? What about the society? Unemployment would increase, right? So what happens when you lose a job, right? So a lot of social problems. So in society, economic impact, right? GDP because one of a production that you go relocate to another country, but they may be benefited, shareholder benefit way, right? Some other local suppliers let us supply currently chance, so something like that. So that is why we need to focus on not just the shareholder. Right. Increase the share price, increase the shareholder value, right? Dividend payments, profitability, expect right? Correct. So when you follow the business social responsibilities, you need to make sure that you manage the all parties. Right. The basis, what's the reason behind the following those ethics and social responsibilities? Like I say, the definitions. A kind of a common definition. It says performing the business activities in an unbiased way to all the stakeholders. Stakeholder shareholder තමයි invest කරලා තියෙන්නේ. අපි යාට return එකක් දෙන්නත් ඕනේ, right? අනිත් පැත්තෙන් අනිත් අය ගැන හිතන්නත් අවශ්‍යයි කියන එක. Right. So this is one of an organization that I told you about, the World Business Council for the Sustainable Development. So once you don't have to write those guys. So once you got the few, right, so you can highlight those. But or content එක දාගෙන නිසාව දන්නවා definitions how the provide කරලා තියෙන්නේ. And also one of important is මෙන්න මේ definitions පැත්ත ගොඩක් වෙලාවට individual එහෙම නැත්නම් organization එක දීලා මම කියන්නේ exam එකේදී නාරයන් මුත්තිගේ definition එක ලියන්න එහෙම කියන්නේ නැහැ. ගොඩක් වෙලාවට definition එක දීලා person මහන්න පුළුවන්. right? කවුද මේක present කරේ කියන එක. අනිත් පැත්ත තමයි definition එක දීලා explain කරන්න අහන්න පුළුවන්. right? Example, Philippines and USA. One of example definition. Definition එක දීලා අනිත් පැත්තෙන් මේකලා අහන්න පුළුවන් කොහොමද මේක explain කරන්නේ කියන එක. Right. So first, shall we have a look at on the first one, which is the World Business Council for the Sustainable Development. Right. Business social responsibility is a continuous commitment by the business to act ethically and contribute to the economic development while improving the quality of life of the workforce and their families, as well as the local community and the society at large. Not just about the profit, not just about the net wealth of the owners. බලන්න එහෙනම් මෙතන අර අපි කියපු main parties ටික cover වෙනවා නේද මේ definition එක. How the main parties, right? As a business, we need to fulfill the business social responsibilities to the customers. We have to think about the customers, employees, owners, and society. The example එකක් විදිහට වැඩි profit ගන්න කියලා. නේද? quality එකකින් අඩු, health එකට risk එකක් තියෙන product එකක් එළියට දානවා. right? සමහරට මොනවා හරි මේකට use කරන හරි chemicals දෙයක් වගේ වෙන්න පුළුවන්. profit වැඩි කරන්න කරන දේවල්. නේද? එතකොට so then you are not think about the customer. You only think about the profit. Right? So this is not going to work. අනිත් පැත්තේ පුළුවන් තරම් employees ලගේ benefits අඩු කරනවා, salary increments නැහැ, poor working conditions, something like that. Right? So in that manner, you have to think about all the parties. Then whatever the definitions that they come up with, they explain about the importance of fulfilling those. අපි බලමු the World Business Council for Sustainable Development. ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ definition එකෙත් මෙන්න මේ main parties ටික cover වෙලාද කියලා. right? හරි. එහෙනම් බලන්න. So as they explain, the main parties, ඒගොල්ලෝ කියනවා business social responsibility is the continuous commitment by the business to act ethically and contribute to the economic development. එහෙනම් මෙතන so as a business you have a responsibility to contribute to the economic development. In එක පැත්තක් මේගොල්ලෝ කියනවා society එක ගැන. right? අනිත් පැත්තේ improving the quality life of the workforce and the families. එහෙනම් මෙතන ඒගොල්ලෝ mean කරන්නේ quality life of the employees, giving a good working condition, right? The dignity of working. එහෙනම් මෙතන they need to focus on the employees, right? අනිත් පැත්තෙන් to think about the local community and the society at large, right? This is about the society. So then in this definition, those main parties covered society එක ගැන හිතන්න ඕනේ. අනිත් පැත්තෙන් employees ලා ගැන, customers, right? So when you contribute to the economic development, right? So then one of the individual, so he's an expert on this field and one of a former politician as well. So he's telling that the business social responsibility is about how companies manage the business process to produce an overall positive impact to the society. Right? So it's not just the business's profit, right? So you try to manage the business process. So while give a positive impact to the society, so you're giving positive impact. So how you can provide a positive impact to follow those ethics, follow those responsibilities. Now, can you make a positive impact to the society while you are not the paying a fair salary to employees, not giving a what do you call those a quality workplace? So then can you increase the positivity of your the business? No, right? Now I'm going to good image create karan as a business, right? You need to think about those parties, right? May individual bakery individual like all the parties, right? And the business social responsibility is about how companies manage the business process to produce an overall positive impact in a society. Business, right? So they appreciate what they are doing. Employees are thinking, talking about the business, right? They are saying are proud to work in type of a business organization. Customers are very loyal to the business organization, right? Because due to the fact that they are trying to make a positive impact. පැහැදිලි මෙන්න මේ parties වලට business social responsibilities fulfill කරන්න නැතුව you cannot create a positive impact, right? Customers like එක තැන ගිහලා කියයි අයියෝ මේ business එකේ නම් order එකක් තියන්න එපා. society එකක් තියෙන not a good image. employees ලා කියන්නේ recommend කරන්නේ නැහැ වෙන කෙනෙක්ට join වෙන්න. කියෝ අයියෝ මේක නම් හරියන්නේ නැහැ මමත් වෙන business එකට join වෙන තමයි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ. something like that. Right? So then to create an overall positivity, a good image about the business, yes, for sure, you make sure that you treat in a fair manner to all the stakeholders, right? So that's what say the baker. එහෙනම් මෙන්න මේ වගේ statement එකක් දීලා ඔයාගේ exam එකේදී අහන්න පුළුවන් explain this, right? Now you should be able to at least write 3 or 4 sentences by explaining this statement. Right, hari. ඊළඟ මොනවද කියන්නේ? So we have one of a country, Philippines, right? Philippines කියන country එක කියනවා business social responsibility is about the business giving back to the society, something like giving back to the society. hari. මොනවද ඒකේ තේරුම? මම හිතන්නේ මේක එකපාරක් exam එකේ දීලා තිබුණා statement එක දීලා explain. Now you know that business survives because of all the stakeholders. Business එකක් තියෙන්නේ society එක නිසා. Because we go and purchase goods and services, right? So then a business is getting a profit or maybe making sales because customers are purchasing, right? Because the people come and provide their labor resource to them. So then it's their duty that they give something back to the society, right? In a business එකක් survive වෙන්නේ society එක නිසා අනිත් පැත්තෙන් society එකට යමක් කිරීම සමාජයට යමක් කිරීම. the example එකක් විදිහට ඔයගොල්ලෝ දකිනවා පෞද්ගලික කාලේ දැක්ක අර covid fund එකක් තිබුණානේ some of the businesses, right? They contribute, right? Still so some hospitals contributing some medical equipment, some essential medical equipment, doing projects, something like that. So they try to in the business, right? They survive because of the society, and as a business is responsible that you provide something back to the society, right? So something like that. Correct. And සමහර අපි කිව්වොත් ඔය නේද ස්කූල් වල ගත්තොත් නේද all boys ලා all girls ලා ප්‍රොජෙක්ට් කරන අයලා ස්කූල් එක. right? මොනවාද? ඒගොල්ලෝ ඉගෙන ගත්ත ස්කූල් එකක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. මෙතනදී ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ ඒ goals වලට යන්න help කරපු තැන. So අනිත් පැත්තෙන් ගිහිල්ලා to do something back to their school. So something same apply to the businesses as well. Right. ඒක නම් හරියම simple definition එකක් provide කරන්නේ. The country Philippines, right? Or a lazy it's about giving back to the society something, right? Correct. So then Narayan Murthy, so he's an Indian IT industrialist. BSR is to create maximum value for the shareholders. Now you know how to calculate the maximum value, right? How to increase the share price? Share price into number of shares. Yeah, in order to increase the share price, you need to make sure that company performs well. So then only the share price increases, more profit. While performing justly to all interested parties, such as consumers, such as employees, such as society, government and environment. හරිය මොනවද පැහැදිලිව කියන්නේ? Yes, as a business, you need to make sure that you increase the shareholder net value or the wealth. හැබැයි අමතක කරන්න එපා අනිත් parties වලට treat කරන්න කියලා තමයි පැහැදිලි කියන්නේ. Right? In a prior objective to increase the shareholder value, but also fairly treat to the consumer, society, environment, and all the parties. Now, we may discuss කරපු එකම තමයි Narayan Murthy ත්‍යාගේ definition එකේ කියන්නේ. Right? So make sure that මේකේ මොනවා හරි එක වචනයක් දෙකකින් ඔයාලට නම මතක තියාගන්න පුළුවන්. If in case in the examination they provided you the definition and asking the person or the organization who came up with that. Have I explain කරන්න කිව්වොත්, right? So they are providing the definition. It's just a matter of explaining it 3 or 4 sentences. Right. USA නේද මොනවාද කියන්නේ? ඇමරිකා එක්සත් ජනපදය. United States of America කියන මෙන්න මෙහෙම දෙයක්. Business social responsibility is about accepting personal responsibility for the actions and impacts on society. Kind of a different thing. හැබැයි ඒකේ කියන එකම තේරුම තමයි if you try to correctly identify, correctly understand that. මොනවද කියන්නේ? The BSR is about accepting the personal responsibility for the actions and its impact on society. ඒ කියන්නේ මොනවා හරි business එකක් නිසා වන impact එකට ඒ business එක personally liable වෙන්න ඕනේ කියලා තමයි කියන්නේ. Right? The example එකක් විතර business take a decision to relocate their business premises to another country. එහෙනම් එතනදී employees ලා impact වෙනවා. Right? Some sort of things that they have to face. For that, they need to personally liable. So they have to, do something to the employees, or maybe giving some sort of a compensation. Right? ඊට පස්සේ අපිට මොනවාරි product එකක් නිසා health issue එකක්, right? Because of consuming that product. So they need to personally liable. අනිත් පැත්තේ employees ලා මේ business එකේ වැඩ කරන නිසා අපිටම construction site එකක්, they are exposed to heavy chemicals, heavy sound, because that some threat to their health. එහෙනම් ඒකට person liable වෙන්න ඕනේ කියලා business එක, right? So do something for that. So that is something like that. For the businesses, whatever the things that they do, they have a personal liability for that, right? එහෙනම් business එකේ මොන හරි වෙන impact එකකට ඒ අදාළ business එකට ඒකට personal liable වෙන්න ඕනේ. අපිට මොන හරි දෙයක් මොන හරි factory එකක් නිසා මොන හරි තියෙන ප්‍රදේශයක මොන හරි water sources වලට damage වෙනවා. මොන හරි ඒකට pollute වෙනවා. එහෙනම් ඒකට personal responsibility එක ගන්න වෙනවා. Right? So something like that. Correct. එහෙනම් impact to the society. Impact එක society එකට impact එකට පැහැදිලිව personal responsibility වෙන්න ඕනේ. Right. Correct. So those are, guys, when we come to the accepted definition. එහෙනම් මේ මොන definition එකේ directly or indirectly මොනවද කියන්නේ? Not just the shareholders, it's about all the stakeholders. The importance of treat them in a fair manner. Unless otherwise, you are not being able to move forward, especially the today's environment. ඉස්සර කාලෙන් පුළුවන් වෙන්නේ නැති. නේද? අපි කියන අර මිනිස්සුන් මාරව වැඩ ගන්න, right? නේද? ඒ කාලෙදි පුළුවන් වෙන්නේ නැති. හැබැයි අද නම් එහෙම chance එකක් නැහැ. Right? Correct. Right. So then, guys, coming to the necessity of fulfilling social responsibilities. Correct. හරි. එහෙනම් මම මේ ගැන කතා කරා. මම කිව්වා business competition. එහෙනම් එක business එකක් දැන් අපි example එකක් විදිහට අපි companies දෙකක් ගමු පැහැදිලිව, right? Two companies, shall we take two companies? Dialog and Mobitel, right? Dialog and Mobitel. අපි හිතමු මොනාරි මේගොල්ලෝ ගිහලා කොහරි දුෂ්කර ගමක ළමයින්ට internet access දෙනවා. මොනාරි free of charge හරි නැත්නම් less amount එකක් හරි නැත්නම් මොනාරි electronic devices ගිහලා දෙනවා. එතකොට මොබිටෙල් එකට පුළුවන් ද එහෙම දෙයක් නොකරින් මේ වගේ ප්‍රොජෙක්ට් එකක් නෑ ඒගොල්ලන්ටත් කරන්න වෙනවා. එහෙනම් අපිට කියන්න පුළුවන් මෙන්න මේ කම්පිටිෂන් එක නිසා because of the competition මේගොල්ලෝ දෙනවා business social responsibilities, right? මොකද they need to create that good image. business එකේ තියෙන හොඳ image එක society එකට පෙන්වන්න අවශ්‍යයි, right? මෙන්න මේ නිසා because of the competition. නැත්නම් අනිත් පැත්තෙන් අපිට කියන්න පුළුවන් employees ලාට හරියට treat කරන්නේ නැත්නම් ඒගොල්ලෝ ගිහලා අනිත් computer එක ගිහලා join වෙයි. right? නැත්නම් ඒගොල්ලෝ create කරන opinion එකක් society එකේ. මේ business එක නම් මේ business එක නම් හරියන්නේ මෙන්න මේ වගේ වැඩ තමයි ඒගොල්ලෝ කරන්නේ. right? So not good for the competition. To win the competition, to win the competition easily. මෙන්න මේ තියෙන අති තරගය නේද? දැඩි තරගකාරීත්වය face කරන්න මොකද කරන්නේ? මෙන්න මේ business social responsibilities fulfill කරන. ඒතර පැහැදිලි හැමෝම business එක ගැන හොඳ කියන්න පටන් ගන්න. So then it's good for the to win the competition easily. Right? එහෙනම් පැහැදිලි. මෙන්න මේ තරගයට හොඳ tool එකක් තමයි following the business social responsibilities. Right? සමහරවිට අද කාලේ ගොඩාක්ම වෙන්නේ මේක මේ marketing tool එකක් විදිහට තමයි use කරන්නේ. හැබැයි මේකේ bad impact එකකුත් තියෙනවා. මොනවාද bad impact එක? සමහරවිට මේක ගිහිල්ලා නිකන් අර ලොකුවට society එකට පෙන්නනවා මේ projects කරනවා මෙහෙම දෙයක් කරනවා. හැබැයි the real benefit there's question that there's a real benefit for those projects. Right? ඒ නිසා අපි කියන සමහර නේද මාධ්‍ය සංදර්ශන කියලා ගිහිල්ලා පෙන්නන නමුත් ඇත්තටම benefit example එකක් විදිහට මම දැක්ක මොනාර එක ස්කෝල් එකකට ගිහිල්ලා කොහරි දුෂ්කර ස්කෝල් එකට ගිහිල්ලා ලැබ් එකක් හදලා දෙන්න කම්පියුටර් ලැබ් එකක්. හැබැයි ඇත්තටම බැලුවට පස්සේ මේ ප්‍රදේශයට ඉලෙක්ට්‍රිසිටි නැහැ හරියට. ඒතකොට අච්චර ලැබ් එකක් හදලා දීලා අනිත් පැත්තෙන් ඉලෙක්ට්‍රිසිටි නැහැ. ඒ සමහරට ඉන්ටර්නෙට් කනෙක්ෂන් නැහැ මොනවා ඩිවයිස් එකක් දෙනවා. right? හැබැයි ඒක use කරන්න proper internet connection එකක් ඉතින් මේ විදිහට right? So there are practical issues as well when providing these set of things. Right? ඊළඟ මොනවද කියන්නේ because of the globalization. Right? Because of the globalization, you need to follow the business social responsibilities. Right? Globalization. Globalization ගැන කතා කරන්නේ එකක් තමයි global image එකට impact වෙන්න පුළුවන්. The example එකක් විතර අපි හිතමු when are a multinational company something like Unilever, Nestle. ඒතර මේක එක country එකකම incident එකක් overall image එකට impact වෙන්න පුළුවන්. මොකද other information quickly හැමදාම share වෙන නිසා. So one of the thing. ඒකත් එක අපි කියන්න පුළුවන් there are some international organization. නේද මොනවා හරි අපි කිව්වොත් දැන් අපි කතා කරන්නේ WTO එක වගේ කියන්නේ World Trade Organization. ඒකත් එක්කම කියනවා World Labour Organization උත් තියෙන ලෝක කම්කරු සංවිධානය. something like. අන්න එතනදී ප්‍රශ්නයක් වෙන්න පුළුවන් this not company is not following those one. That's something overall reputation problem එකක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. It's not just that you are limited to a certain country nowadays, right? When you do business, especially in today's environment, so you are globally have locations, your business. So then to maintain that global reputation, yes, you are following the business social responsibilities. And also one thing for you, some of the customers prefer to purchase the product which a company follow business social responsibilities. Now I'll tell you why. Example එකක් විදියට I'm telling the one of example is MA Solix, right? ඔයගොල්ලෝ හැමෝම දන්න නේද MAS mass, right? මෙතනදී ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ එක one of a factories there. So they use sustainable energy, right? ඒ කියන්නේ මෙන්න මේ product එක නිසාවන I would say the impact to the environment is very less. So they are trying to provide some of the things. මෙන්න මේ නිසා අපිට කියන්න පුළුවන් so one of the reason that customers are purchasing the product because they believe that the business is fulfilling the social responsibilities. තවත් මම ඔයාලට හොඳ example එකක් කියන්නම්. ඒක ලංකාවේ තියෙන pizza hut එකක් සමහරව ඔයා මේකට ගිහිල්ලත් ඇති. It's in Tibrigasshire. හැබැයි මමත් මේක විසිට් කළා නැහැ තාම. මේකේ සර්විස් එක ප්‍රොවයිඩ් කරන්නේ special abilities තියෙනවා. අපි එක පැත්තකින් අපි කිව්වොත් එක්ක partly deaf එහෙම නැත්නම් blind eye ඉන්නවාද කියන එක මම හරියටම දන්නේ නැහැ. ශ්‍රවණාබාධ තත්ත්වයෙන් තියෙන අය ගොඩක් වෙලාවට මේකේ වැඩ කරනවා. right? එතකොට දැන් ඒගොල්ලෝ මොනවා හරි අර signals වලින් තමයි ඒ orders දෙන්නේ. එතකොට දැන් normally ඒ වගේ කෙනෙක්ට කොහරි job එකක් ලැබෙන chance එකක් අඩුයි. Getting a job is something that you receive some income source. So surely their lives, the standard of living would increase. So one of the initiative, right? Pizza Hut ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ special එකක් තියෙනවා. ඒකවල මෙතනදී ඒ වැඩ කරන්නේ ඒ වගේ different abilities තියෙන අය. So ඒතර as a customer ඔයා ගිහලා මෙතන visit කරලා ඒකේ good එකක් purchase කරනවා කියන්නේ so they are motivating their things, right? Something like that. Because of the globalization and because of the company's reputation, right? Another thing is that environmental pollution and the natural disasters crisis, and especially that crisis වෙලාවක උගල දාකලා තියෙන සමහරවිට ඔය tsunami එක වෙලා වෙන්න පුළුවන් floods මොනාරි වෙලාවක තියෙනද the companies කියලා funds දෙනවා donations නේද health camp මෙන්න මේ විතර in a crisis situation especially nowadays මොනාරි ගොඩක් වෙලාවට ඔයගොල්ලෝ දකින්න ඇති අර covid fund එක හදපු දවස්වල and have a companies will donate equipments, right? So whatever the things, right? In case of a crisis situation, pandemic situation. So this is the necessity of fulfilling the business social responsibility. company donate so something like that. Make a news so that's something good for the company's reputation. Right. One example like that's Pizza Hut example. Right. So with that, guys, shall we just highlight those parts? Business competition, globalization, environmental pollution, and the natural disasters and crisis. මෙන්න මේ හේතු නිසා තමයි business එකට සිද්ධ වෙන්නේ මෙන්න මේ social responsibilities fulfill කරන්න. So let me share this to you guys. As you can see, some of them say visit happy. Right. American brand Pizza Hut has set a great example through its outlet in Colombo, which managed by people with disabilities. So, ඒගොල්ලන්ට කොහෙවත් job opportunities එකක් ලබා ගන්න හරි අමාරු වෙන්න පුළුවන්. හැබැයි මෙතන special ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ outlet එකක් දාලා ඒක අතකින් මේක ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ image එකට හොඳයි. Right, method especially visit karna as encourage to those people that people talk about this thing, and also those employees getting a job opportunity where they receive the source of income, right, where they can have a better quality life, right? And you can see so how you order order currently. So in general many of the science menu book even I watched a video as well about this. Interactions such as thumbs up, right? Okay, so something like head shake, yeah, to order those, right? So something like that, yes, right? So this is something great initiative where you think about the business social responsibility, right? So giving something back to the society, think about the employees, and I think it's good for their brand, good for their overall positivity about the brand, right? Correct. So what are the rest of the reasons? Right? Environment pollution, natural disaster, crisis really help karana, right, to the society. Correct. Right. So that's about the necessity of fulfilling the social responsibility. Right. So then, guys, coming to the parties to whom the business should fulfill the social responsibility. What are parties for the business social responsibility fulfill karanne? Right. Harina main parties hatarak kinna. Api balamu one by one කොහොමද අපි fulfill කරන්නේ කියලා. Right. So main parties එනම් මුලින්ම අපි නේද ඔක්කොටම කලින් owners ලටත් අපේ responsibility එක fulfill කරන්න වෙනවා. එහෙනම් owners ළම විතරක් නෙමෙයි අනිත් පැත්තෙන් employees ලා. Customers and the society. Right? Society. Alright, now first start from the owners. මොනවද එහෙනම් as a business. business එකක් විදිහට ඕනට කරන්න පුළුවන් හොඳම දේ මොනවාද? business එක පැත්තේ. business එකක් විදිහට ඕනට දෙන්න පුළුවන් හොඳම tag තමයි profit, right? A fair return to the investment, because the owners are the person who invested, giving the resources to the business. So then the best thing is that giving a fair return to the investment in terms of the profit, in terms of dividends, in terms of increasing the market price of the share, right? So net value of the assets. So that's something that they can provide, right? And also as a business, maybe to increase the income sources, the brand image එක වැඩි කරන දේ. මෙන්න මේකට from the business point of view, business එකක් විදියට ඕනට fulfill කරන්න පුළුවන්, right? The best example is a fair earning, and also the existence of the business, continuity of the business එක bankrupt වෙන්නේ නැතිව, right? Survive වෙන්න කොහොමද? So that's the best thing that you can do on behalf of the owners, right? Employees like පැත්තෙන් අපිට આવොත් මොනවද කියන්න පුළුවන්? Being fair, right? ඒගොල්ලන්ට fair වෙන්න හැම එකකම no discriminations at all, right? A job security, providing quality, maintaining a quality workplace, right? Safe and all. ගොඩක් වෙලාවට construction site වෙන්න පුළුවන්, factories වෙන්න පුළුවන්, to minimize the things that they provide. අනිත් පැත්තේ employees ලා වෙන්න පුළුවන්, right? Correct. Customers ලාට මොනවද? To provide a quality product, නැත්නම් අපිට කියන්න පුළුවන් මෙන්න value for money කියන එක, right? Value for money. එහෙනම් customer pay කරන amount එකට value එකට හරියන service එකක් good එකක් ඔයා ලබා දෙනවා. And increase the quality of the product, quality, and also continuously supplying the product and maybe some sort of after sales services, right? එහෙනම් මොනවාද business එකක් විතර customer ට fulfill කරන්න වෙන්නේ, right? Charging a reasonable price, so one of the thing. නැත්නම් අපි කියන සමහරට නේද customers ලා අපි කියන අරමුණද සූරාගෙන කරනවා ඉන්නද අන්න ඒ වගේ වෙන්න. එහෙම කරන්නේ නැතුව being fair and give a maximum value for the amount that they pay, right? By giving a quality product. Society එක පැත්තෙන් අපිට කියන්න පුළුවන් providing employment opportunities, right? Contributing to the economic development, right? And utilizing the resources well. Those are the for the society that as a business you can provide. What පැහැදිලි not just the owners ලා ගැන විතරක් නෙමෙයි, main four parties you have to think when it comes to the parties that you should fulfill the social responsibilities, right? Correct. Shall we highlight a couple of things, guys? Or maybe ලියා ගන්න අවශ්‍ය නැහැ. I have included everything, right, for this part. මේකෙන් දෙක තුනක් ඔයා ඔළුවට දාගන්න දැම්මම ලේසියින වැඩේ, right? Being fair, minimizing the damages, protecting the rights of the customers කියලා අපි දාගමු නේද මෙතන පොඩ්ඩක් rights of the customers. නැත්නම් අපි කියුවේ අර consumer rights වගේ දෙයක්, right? අනිත් පැත්තෙන් employees ලාට equality, equal treatment, and මොනාරි ජාති ආගම් ඒවා බෙදන්න නැතු discrimination කියලා අපි කියන්නේ. The discrimination කිසිම බෙදීමක් නැතු equal treatment එක, no discrimination at all. සමහර companies වල hiring process එකේදී promote කරද්දී ඒ වගේ discriminations තියෙනවා. And good employee relationship, so you are maintaining a good relationship as an employer, and job security, health and safety, better working environment, that also we can add. Better working environment. මොකද ලස්සන පරිසරයක් safe මේ වැඩ ටික කරන්න. Anik pattern to the society, contributing to the employment, paying the tax on time, right? Waste management, welfare services, green product, environment friendly product, eco-friendly, and for the owners also providing a fair earning, the return for their investment. That may owners that BSR fulfill ඒක තමයි අපි ළඟට කතා කරන conflicts ගැන. දැන් අනිත් හැමෝටම fulfill කරනවා. නේද? ඔයාලා employees ලා ගැන හොඳටම හිතනවා, customers ලා ගැන හිතනවා, society එක ගැන හිතනවා. හැබැයි අන්තිමට very less return to the owners. එහෙම වෙන්නත් බෑ. ඒ නිසා මේ හතර දෙනාවම balance කරලා business එක කරන්න අවශ්‍යයි කියන එක තමයි කියන්නේ. නේද? අනිත් නැත්තම් මේ හැම දෙයකම treat කළා no profits or dividends for the owners. Right? And then share price දවසින් දවස අඩු වෙනවා. Right? The owners ලාගේ net value දවසින් දවස අඩු වෙනවා. So then it's not going to work. You have to manage all the four parties. Right. දැන් එහෙනම් මම මේ කිව්වා වගේ දැන් ඔයා මේ හැම දැන් මෙහෙම දෙයක් මෙහෙම කියමනක් තියෙනවා මම ඒකට පොඩ්ඩක් කියනවා ඔයා මේක ඉංග්‍රීසි වල එන කියමනක් if you want to make everyone's happy sell ice cream කියලා කියනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ ඔයාට සමහර නේද හැමෝම සතුටු කරන්න අවශ්‍ය නම් ice cream විකුණන්න කියලා කියනවා. ඒක කියන එකෙන් කියන්නේ සමහරලාට අපිට එක parties ගැන decision එකක් ගත්තී සමහර parties එකකින් impact වෙන්න පුළුවන් කියන එක. ඒක සමහර government එක කියන්නේ මොනවාද? පටිතද කරගන්න කියන්නේ කැපකිරීම කරන්න එක something like that. Right? හැබැයි කොහොම නමුත් we need to make sure that right at our best level so how we fairly treat those four parties. හැබැයි අපි මෙහෙම business එක කරගෙන යද්දී there's a question right හර්මන් කිව්ව දේ can can make everyone happy හැමෝම සතුටු කරන්න පුළුවන්ද කියන ප්‍රශ්නේ එනවා. That's why you ask can we fulfill the expectation of the all the parties එහෙනම් මොනවාද ඔයා society එකක් දෙයක් කරනවා value for money quality product එකක් දෙනවා employees වල treat කරනවා හොඳ working environment එකක් හදලා තියෙනවා society එකකට මොනවාද projects කරනවා එන්න ගිහලා owners ලා fair earning එකක් දෙනවා මේ ඔක්කොම කරන්න පුළුවන්ද කියන එක ප්‍රශ්නයක් example එකක් විදියට let's say අපි බලමු customer versus owners owners ලා කොහොමද conflict එකක් වෙන්නේ owner හැමතිස්සෙම expect කරන්නේ මොනවද high profit එහෙනම් ඔයා මේ පැත්තේදී පුළුවන් තරම් customer ගෙවන price එකට හොඳ good එකක් service එකක් දෙනවා quality product එකක් එහෙනම් අපි දන්නවා quality product එකක් දෙන්න ලොකු cost එකක් යනවා right cost එක වැඩි වෙනවා සරලව අපි හිතමු මේ restaurant එකක් ඉන්නේ operating restaurant නේද හොඳ ගුණාත්මක quality meal එකක් දෙන්න අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම cost එක වැඩි වෙනවා එහෙනම් මේ පැත්ත customer treat කරද්දී customer point of view හිතද්දී ඕනම impact වෙන්න පුළුවන් නේද right එහෙනම් අනිත් පැත්තේ less profit to the owners because why you are providing a quality product to the customer something like that අනිත් පැත්තෙන් අපි ගත්තොත් employees versus owners එහෙනම් employees වල සෑහෙන treat කරනවා lot of benefits සමහර transport දෙනවා meal දෙනවා accommodation දෙනවා හොඳ environment එකක් හදලා තියෙනවා work කරන්න right safe and very friendly working environment with the standards bonus දෙනවා year end bonus mid year bonus right so whatever things that you provide possible everything හැබැයි එහෙම කරන්න අනිත් පැත්තෙන් ඕනම ඉම්පැක්ට් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. එහෙම නැත්නම් shareholders right? මේ ඔක්කොම කරන්නේ cost එකක් යනවා. Cost increases, profit decreases. So the dividend amount of the dividend decreases. Then it could impact the owners. Right? ඊට පස්සේ අපි හිතුවත් owners and society. හැමතිස්සෙම society එකට වැඩක් කරන්න යනවා. Less environmental pollution. Right? ඒක අනිත් පැත්තේ ලොකු cost එකක් incur කරන්න වෙයි business එක කරන්න. Right? Having the latest equipments, latest technology to minimize the harm to the society. අනිත් පැත්තෙන් ඕනම impact වෙනවා. Right? ඊට පස්සේ අපි බැලුවොත් customers and employees ගැන හිතුවොත් සමහරට එතන සමහරට conflicts එන්න පුළුවන්. එහෙනම් මේ parties අතර conflicts of interest, right? ඒ කියන්නේ මොනවද මේ conflict of interest කියන්නේ arguments between the parties. එක්කෙනෙක්ගේ දේවල් fulfill කරද්දී අනිත් පැත්තේ impact එකක් වෙන්නත් පුළුවන් other party එකට. So that's what we need to think about that. එහෙනම් කොහොම හරි මේක balance කරගන්න අපිට වෙනවා, right? That's what something we need to do. Right, Hari. I'll provide some of the examples for those conflicts of interest. Conflicts of interest. This is actually from the lesson number 1. Maybe that. දැන් හොඳම example එක දැන් අපි බැලුවොත් මේ දැන් මේ government එකත් එක්කත් conflict of interest තියෙනවා නේද සමහර parties කියනවා salary increase කරන්න ඒ benefit දෙන්න මේවා දෙන්න ඒවා දෙන්න කියලා. අනිත් පැත්තේ එක party එකක් ඒකේ at a disadvantage. හරි. Now we'll see what are those conflicts of interest. Now පැහැදිලි නේද මෙතන ඉන්න owners ලා managers ලා මේකද එක දේවල් කියන. Right. අපි බලමු. Different stakeholders have different objectives. ඒක අපිට පැහැදිලි. Right? Owner expect කරන higher profit එකක්, employee expect කරන higher salary එකක්. ඒතකොට මේ දෙක conflict. Higher salary දෙන්නේ profit අඩු වෙනවා. Profit වැඩි කරද්දී salary අඩු කරන්න වෙයි. So whatever the benefits. Right. Owners generally seek high profits and so may be reluctant to see the business pay high wages. High wages they not ඒගොල්ලෝ කැමති නැති වෙන්න පුළුවන්. Right? එහෙනම් මෙතන එක conflict එකක්. අනිත් එකක් අපි හිතමු a business decision to move production overseas may reduce the staff cost. මම මේක ගැන කලින් කතා කරා. now ඊළඟ overseas වෙන country එක establish කරන්න යනවා. So it will therefore benefit the owners or the shareholders, but work against the interest of existing staff who will lose their job. Customers also suffer if they receive a poor service. Right? Now maybe the conflicts of interest when with those parties. And as a business, that is what you need the management. Right? Correct. Then example like අපි දෙත සමහරවිට අපි දකිනවා නේද නේද government එක කියන ඒගොල්ලන්ට කරන්න දෙයක් නැහැ ඒක responsible persons කියලා ඒක කරන්න දෙයක් නැහැ කියලා. ඉතින් කරන්න දෙයක් නැහැ කියන්නේ persons ලා අවශ්‍ය නැහැ. එහෙනම් what's the challenge to the management, right? So how do you maintain those parties, how you smoothly balance those parties while conducting the business operations while fulfilling the objectives and goals of the business. නම් එක party එකක්වත් තරහ කරගන්න බෑ. customers ලා තරහ කරගන්න බෑ. Right? Employees ලා තරහ කරගන්න බෑ. එතකොට employees ලා යයි company එක දාලා customers ලා treat කරන්න වෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඒ වගේම owners ලාව තරහ කරගන්නත් බෑ. ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ withdraw කරන්න පුළුවන්, not investing further amount to the business. Society එක තරහ කරගන්නත් බෑ. ඒකට ප්‍රශ්න වැඩි නේද මොනාරි ලොකු business එක ගැන bad image එකක් create වෙනවා. Right? ඒ නිසා මේ හැම party එකක්ම කොහොමද how you balance. That's what why the management is required. හැමදේම අපි කියන්නේ manage කරගන්න කියලා නේද? Right? Managing the that situation. Correct. So likewise, guys, so those conflicts could arise, as you can see. Right. Shall we come to this part as well? The benefits obtained by a business by fulfilling the social responsibilities. මේක ඇති ඔයා දැනටමත් දන්නවා. අපි කතා කරපු දේවල් වලින්. මොනවාද තියෙන වාසිදායක තත්ත්වය ඔයා මේක fulfill කරොත්. fulfill කරේ නැහැ කියන්නේ ඒක disadvantage for you, right? So then what are the advantages of the benefits? එකක් තමයි ensure the existence of the business. එන business එක existence කරන්න අපි කියන්නේ අර continuity කියන එක. එහෙනම් ඔයා customers ලා treat කරේ නැතිනොත් ඊළඟ දවසේ එනවා මේ customer ඔයාගේ business එකට නෑ. එහෙනම් there's a problem for the continuity. If you do not treat your employees well, next day strike එකක්. Leaving the organization. And the most experienced person leaving the organization. දැන් මම මේ දවස්වල දකිනවා. සමහර government officers ලා, right? අස් වෙනවා. අයින් වෙලා යනවා, right? Resignation. So maybe conflict. So that's something a very limitation and with disadvantage to the government or the business. And after business එකක් පැත්ත බැලුවොත් leaving the employees, experienced in employees leaving the organization. That's a problem. That's a question for the continuity. Owners ලා වෙන්න පුළුවන්. දැන් business එක sell කරනවා. right? වෙන business එකකට sell කරනවා. එහෙම නැත්නම් ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ investment withdraw කරනවා. Society also. Now maybe one of the benefit is that the continuity of the business. And now may fulfill karati one of the benefit. You can make sure your business is surviving. And also we talk about the image, නැත්නම් goodwill කියන එක අපි කතා කරා. The overall positivity කියන එක වැඩි වෙනවා. And also in terms of the goodwill and the trust, right? In our employees are treat කරන්න they trust on the business. Their trust increases. එහෙනම් දන්න business එක අනිවාර්යෙන් අපිට මෙන්න මේ විදිහට job security එක ලබලා දෙයි නේද? bonus දෙයි, increments දෙයි, right? So they are safe. So that's something that we can say, right? We'll see, guys, what are the rest of the things. We have to just highlight or just have a note on this. මේක අවශ්‍ය නැහැ නැවතත් ලියා ගන්න. හැබැයි දැන් තමයි තවත් දාන්න අපි මේ discuss කරපු දෙක. එකක් තමයි satisfy the customers, right? Customer satisfaction is one of the key point, right? Without having satisfied customers, you are not being able to increase your market share and to achieve the business objectives. Employees like strike now, customers la business එක දාලා යනවා නම්, suppliers la එන්නේ නැත්නම් goods දෙන්න වාට පුළුවන් දාගේ business objectives reach කරන්න, right? There's no point that you can reach your business objectives when there's a lot of I would say the negativity of the business increases. Society එක බයිනවා නේද ආගේ business එකට. යන තැන. සමහරට social media වල වෙන්න පුළුවන්. So what they are not appreciated. එතන ප්‍රශ්නයක් තියෙනවා business එකේ image එක ගැන. So then there's a problem how you fulfill the business objectives. End of the day, what is the message is that you need to make sure you fulfill the BSR social responsibilities, not just the shareholders. That's the message that I can provide you. Right. With that, guys, ආගමේ lesson එකේ parts තුනක් තියෙනවා mainly. අපි ඒක එකක් හද ඉවර කරා the social responsibility. හරි එහෙනම් ඒ යටතේ අපි මොනවද කතා කරේ content එක තමයි මේ තියෙන්නේ. right? ආගේ මේ lesson number 2 එකේ main 3 subtopics ගන්න පුළුවන්. ඒකේ එකක් cover කරා මොනවද business social responsibilities. ඊට පස්සේ තියෙනවා talk about the sustainable development. ඊට පස්සේ තමයි business ethics part එකට අපි යන්නේ. So this is the content that we discussed about the BSR. Monada api shall we revise again the set of the definition that we talk about and what is the reason behind that business started practicing the BSR, the concept like shareholder and the stakeholder theory. ඊට පස්සේ the couple of definitions that we discussed. ඒක individual කෙනෙක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඒක මොන හරි country එකක් provide කරලා තියෙන පුළුවන්, international organization එකක්. Then what is the necessity of fulfilling the business social responsibilities? Other thing in globalization එක competition එකට face කරන්න. So then parties whom the business should fulfill, mainly 4 parties. owners ලට employees ලට society එකට මෙන්න මේ විදිහට ඔයාලට fulfill කරන්න වෙනවා. So then the conflicts of interest and the benefits of the BSR. Right, Hari. So since we have some more time, shall we have a look at on some of the past papers? Right, අපි ප්‍රශ්න දෙක තුනක් බලමු to get an idea මොන වගේ දෙයක්ද මේකේ check කරලා තියෙන්නේ කියන එක. Past paper tube එකක් මම ඔයාලට දාන්නම්. I'll make sure by Monday I'll be sharing this one. හැබැයි මම මේක past paper questions numbers දාලා තියෙනවා. year එකත් එක්ක දාලා. හරි. අපි පොඩි try එකක් දෙමු. Just practice some of the MCQs. ඒතර ආඩත් idea එකක් තියෙනවා මේ කතා කරපු දේවල් කොහොමද exam එකේ check කරලා තියෙන්නේ. That's so important. එනිසා මම මෙතන මොනම කිව්වත් වැඩක් නැහැ. මේක exam එකේ අහලාද නැත්නම් වාට capacity එකක් තියෙනවාද ඒකට answer කරන්න කියන එක. හරි. අපි පොඩ්ඩක් බලමු 2000 recent paper එක බලමු පොඩ්ඩක් 2020 මොනාරි එකකින් අහලා තියෙනවද කියන එක. Right. Shall we take 2019 and see? Right, guys. Shall we try on this MCQ? Which is from 2016. Right, guys, what do you think? The following table shows some of the activities that a business has done to fulfill the social responsibilities towards each of their stakeholders and a list of stakeholders. Select the group that matches above activities and the relevant stakeholders correctly. For the customers, right? Displaying the contents of the product in the label, right? Something like give the maximum value to the purchase, right? Display the content. So something like 2 for D should be there, right? 2 for D so then what else? In terms of the employees, establishing a medical center in the institute, they can factory site medical center, right? It's good for the employees, right? Some are the first aid injuries A for 3, right? A for 3. Number 5. Then B for 1, contributing to the nation building tax, right? For the government, you are paying tax on time. And C4, preparing account reports according to the standards. So then only the transparency is there. Profits when amount owners etc. Some sort of differences could be there. So that's some of the thing. Right. Take a picture. Shall we focus on this one as well? This is from 2014. All right, I don't think it's a difficult one for you. And following are some of the social responsibilities of a business towards the different stakeholders, right? Select the group that include the social responsibilities of a business towards the society only, because you know that there are mainly 4 parties: society, owners, employees, and the customers. Only for the society. Justice. But we'll see how we can take it equality, but something to the employees. Treat paying tax. Oh, society with you pay tax to the government on time. Because of that, society benefits a lot. That's something we can consider. Then job security, no, right? It's belong to the employees. Efficient and honest management, probably for the employees and also the owners, right? Not for the society. And impacting waste management, yes, because factory waste and water resources area. So it's a threat for that those citizens who live in that particular area. So obviously, a proper waste management is one of responsibility that you fulfill towards the society. Fair return on investment, not for the society, but for the owners. Provide employment opportunity, yes, because the overall what you call those employment rate would be increased, unemployment again decrease, something good for the society. Community service, yes, those projects that they are doing. Health and safety, that's something belong to the employees, right? Providing health and safety, a safe working environment. So as far as we concern those one, we have like C and CIFJ, right? CIF and H, yes, CIS. So we have question number 4. The correct one is option number 5, right? So just to give you an idea about some sort of questions, what sort of a question could be checked from this area, guys, and I'll be providing the past paper tip as well. Right. So with that, that's the end of the day 1 of your second lesson, right? So with that, Monday we'll be seeing you with guys the rest of the things. Mantana අපිට මේක ගොඩක් days like කියලා මේක ඉවර කරන්න කොට ඉවර කළා. අපේ අනිත් lesson එකට එන්න පුළුවන්. Right? So thank you for joining me. We'll see you Monday, guys. Thank you very much. Thanks.